Hi, I'm Cassidy, and today I'll be leading you through a yoga class for low back pain relief. So if you're experiencing some tension, tightness, or pain in the low back, this class will help you out, and I'd encourage you to revisit some of the poses we do today and maybe try to incorporate them into your regular routine. As always, feel free to personalize this practice so that it feels best in your body. You will want either a blanket, a pillow, or a towel that you can use for our practice nearby. So make sure you have that. And if you enjoy today's practice, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for new yoga classes every week. Let's get started with today's practice. So we're going to begin lying down on our back. And then the soles of the feet will stay planted onto the mat or the ground with the knees pointing up towards the ceiling. An option to either stay right here like this, or if you want, you can try widening the feet and then letting the knees fall in towards each other. So feel free to stay in whatever position feels more comfortable to you. Hands can be by the sides or maybe resting onto the belly. Option to close the eyes and just start to find some stillness here. Centering in and becoming present for our practice today. Allowing the body to soften and release into the mat below you. Feeling nice and supported here. And start to check in with the breath. Taking long, full inhales through the nose to fill the belly up. And long, full exhales back out of the nose. And just finding a rhythm that you can stay consistent with in our practice today. Of big, long inhales and long, full exhales. Maybe you bring the hands to the belly to just guide your awareness to the rise and fall of the breath. And continue to check in with the breath throughout our practice today. Allow the knees to just gently fall side to side, just windshield wipering them back and forth. And then hug the knees into the chest. You can rock side to side or back and forth and just give yourself a little back massage here. And then start to rock back and forth, building up some momentum until eventually you find a seated position. So find a comfortable, easy seat that works for your body. I'll be cross-legged. You're welcome to bring your pillow or blanket beneath your seat for some support if you'd like, but just find something that works for you. And once you arrive in that spot, relax the shoulders, lengthen through the crown of the head, just taking a moment to get comfortable and calm here. And then we're going to bring the hands onto the knees. With your inhale, puff the chest up, gently tilting the neck, looking up. And on your exhale, rounding the spine, gently tuck the chin. Good. Inhale, puff the chest up, finding our seated cow pose. And then exhale, round the spine to find our seated cat. And just take some time here, continuing with these cat-cows, this forward and backward motion, using the breath to guide you through this. Maybe you close the eyes, maybe you even add in some other movements. So if you want to take some circles with the ribs, Just kind of playing around with what feels good in your body today. And let's take 2 more rounds of breath here, maybe 2 more cat-cows. And when you finish up, just returning to stillness, sitting up nice and tall. And then allow the head to fall side to side. So bringing one ear to the shoulder at a time. Maybe you take some circles here, half circles or full circles. Just releasing a little bit of tension from the neck and return to neutral. With your next inhale, reach the arms up overhead, relax the shoulders. And then on your exhale, bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee, the right hand behind you. Lengthen through the crown of the head as you find this seated twist. So gaze is either off to the side or behind you. Let's take one deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, maybe you twist just a little bit deeper. Inhale, reach both arms up, back to center. Exhale, we'll find that on the other side. So right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes behind you, lift through the crown of the head. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. And then exhale, just release the hands by the sides. From here, we'll make our way into tabletop, so onto all fours. Shoulders are right above the wrists, hips are right above the knees. We're engaging the core, flattening the spine. And we're going to find our regular cat-cows here. So just like that seated movement, but just playing around with how it feels differently in the body from this position. So with your next inhale, drop the belly, look up, cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, look to the belly button for cat. And then continue this with your own breath. So inhaling for cow, exhaling for cat. And once again, feel free to find some intuitive movement here. So you can circle out the hips. You can try looking from side to side. You could even try out cat-cows from your forearms. Just starting to wake up through the spine. Relieve some tension. Let's take 3 more breaths. And one last breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then meet back in that neutral tabletop. From here, we're just going to lay all the way onto the belly. And grab your blanket or pillow and place it where you can reach it once you're laying down. So once you arrive there, just create a pillow for your head with the hands. And allow the hips to just swivel from side to side a bit here. And then grab your pillow or blanket and place it on the right side of your body. From here, bend the right knee and place that right leg off to the side. So we're coming into our half frog stretch. And the thigh and the knee should be supported by whatever prop you're using. So either your pillow or your blanket. And in this pose, you have the option to either be up on the forearms or resting the head all the way down. And let's take a few deep breaths here. So we're getting into the hips and opening up the lower body, because oftentimes some of that lower back pain and tension that we experience can also be tied up with some tightness in the hips. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. One last inhale. And exhale. Good. Start to unbend that knee. And then we're going to bring the feet both feet up and just windshield wiper the feet from side to side. So just resetting in between. And then as you're ready, we'll set up for that half frog pose on the other side. So grabbing your prop, placing it on the other side of your body, bending that left knee, making sure the leg and the knee are supported by your prop. Option to be up on the forearms or resting all the way down. And feeling that stretch, that opening through the hip. And take 4 deep breaths on your own here. Good. And then just start to return back to that just lying down position. Option to windshield wiper the feet once again. Good, and then just find stillness. From here, we'll be moving into Sphinx pose. So we'll bring the arms, or the forearms rather, parallel with one another. And the elbows are going to be just slightly in front of the shoulders here. Press the hands, the fingertips into the mat. And then with your inhale, peel the chest forward and up. Good, lifting into our Sphinx pose. Take an inhale. Exhale, relax. We'll find one more just like that. Inhale to lift. Good, exhale to relax. And then just make your way back into tabletop. And from tabletop, bring the big toes to touch. Option to spread the knees a little bit wider and then sink the hips back for child's pose. So forehead is resting on the mat. Maybe rock it from side to side. Just taking a couple deep breaths here. Slowly make your way back into tabletop. From here, tuck the toes, press the hips up and back, coming into downward facing dog. So fingers are spread nice and wide, and we're pressing through the fingertips to take some of the stress off of the wrists. Tailbone is lifting, heels are pressing towards the mat. Triceps are spinning towards the front of the room. And then maybe begin to pedal the feet out. So just opening up through the backs of the legs a bit more. Just bending into one knee at a time. And then just returning to stillness in your downward facing dog. Don't be afraid to really bend the knees here if that's more comfortable for you. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, walk the hands back to meet the feet. So we're coming into our forward fold. And you can bend the knees here as well, just allowing the head and the neck to hang heavy. And then from here, we're going to heel toe the feet to the outer edges of the yoga mat, or a little bit wider than hips distance apart. Opposite hands are going to grab opposite elbows. Finding our ragdoll pose, maybe you want to swing side to side or shake the head yes and no. It's a great pose for just releasing tension in the body. Take one more inhale in your ragdoll. Good, exhale, plant the hands, heel toe the feet back together, and then walk the hands back to downward facing dog. Take one more inhale in your down dog. And then with your exhale, just release the knees back to the mat for tabletop. From our tabletop, take an inhale and extend the right leg behind you. Exhale, step the right foot in between the hands. So coming into a bit of a low lunge position. And you might want to grab your blanket or prop and put it underneath the back knee for that support. Or maybe you roll up your mat even. And then just bring the hands up to that front knee. lengthening through the crown of the head. Take an inhale. Exhale, plant the hands on the mat, shift the hips back. Good, flex that front foot, coming into half splits. So feeling that opening through the back of the front leg. Take an inhale and exhale. Good, with your inhale, return to that low lunge and then plant the hands. Just come back to tabletop. And then bring the big toes to touch, spread the knees wide, and sink back into child's pose. Let's take one deep breath in our child's pose. With your inhale, slowly rolling back up into tabletop. And then we'll find that sequence on the other side. So take an inhale and extend the left leg behind you. And then step that foot in between the hands. Maybe you find some support, some padding for that back knee. And as you're ready, bringing the hands to rest on the front knee. Feeling the hips open up here, the shoulders relax. Take a big inhale. Exhale, plant the hands, shift the hips back and flex the front foot. Half splits. Maybe here you want to try walking the fingertips just a little bit further forward. Coming to the edge of that comfort zone. Take one more inhale. Good, exhale. Inhale, coming back into that low lunge. Plant the hands on the mat and return to tabletop. And we'll take 2 breaths here. Maybe you want to find some more cat-cows or just whatever movement is calling to you. And then just make your way back into a comfortable seated position. Bring the hands behind you, feet onto the ground, and then just allow the knees to fall side to side once again. Good. From here, sitting up nice and straight, extend the legs long out in front of you. And then bring your blanket or whatever prop you're using underneath your seat. Take an inhale, sit up nice and tall. And on your exhale, start to walk the hands forward, bringing the heart closer to the legs. And you can keep the knees bent here, as long as you're feeling that stretch through the backs of the legs. Let's take one big inhale. Exhale, maybe you can sink in just a little bit deeper. Inhale, slowly begin to rise all the way back up, setting your prop off to the side. And then just rolling all the way onto your back. Once you arrive, hug the knees into the chest. Take some more rocks from side to side, maybe back and forth. And then plant the feet on the mat, knees point up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to bring the right foot to cross over the left knee. And then reaching through, grabbing onto that left thigh, coming into our figure 4 stretch. And just allow yourself to find stillness here, feeling that opening through the hips. And as we start to slow down as we near the end of our practice, just try to challenge yourself to stay present and mindful of the space of your yoga practice. Let's take one more inhale. Good. On your exhale, release the foot back to the ground, that left foot, but keeping the legs crossed into that figure 4. And then we're going to just keep crossing the right leg all the way over the left and allowing both legs to fall off to the left side. Right hand comes out to the side, head looks to the right, and the shoulders stay planted on the mat. So this is our supine twist. And This is a pose that I would definitely encourage you to take beyond our practice today and start incorporating into your everyday routine. This is one that I really like to do at home. Let's just take one more big inhale. Exhale, allow yourself to sink in. With your inhale, slowly begin to bring both legs back to center, hugging the knees into the chest. Maybe resetting by giving yourself that little back massage. And then as you're ready, just planting both feet onto the mat once again. This time we'll bring the left foot to cross over the right knee, reaching through, grabbing onto the right thigh, and finding our reclined figure 4 pose. Option to keep that right leg bent, or you can even straighten it out. See if that changes the stretch for you at all. And we'll take a few deep breaths here, just settling in. Take one more inhale. Exhale, begin to bring the right foot back onto the mat, and then twisting that left leg across the right, allowing both knees to fall off to the right side. Left hand extends to the side, head looks to the left, and the shoulders stay grounded. Coming into our supine twist. And finding stillness here. And then slowly just return back to center. Good, maybe hugging the knees back into the chest. And from here, just extend the feet all the way up, coming into our legs up the wall pose. We won't be staying here long, but if you want to do this on your own, you can actually put the legs up against a wall in your house. Take one inhale. Exhale, just hug the knees back into the chest. And from here, grab onto the soles of the feet, coming into our happy baby pose. So the knees are tracking towards the armpits, the tailbone is grounded. You could try rocking from side to side. And then as you're ready, just allowing the legs to extend long, the hands to release by the sides. And coming into our final resting pose of Savasana. So in Savasana, you're welcome to find what feels best for you. So maybe you're extending the legs long or bending the knees like we began our practice today. And once you find that comfortable spot, just take a big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. And settle in. Softening the space in between the eyebrows. Unclenching the jaw. And letting yourself find stillness here for just a little bit. Soaking up all the energy from our practice today. And as you're ready to move on, start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Roll out the ankles and the wrists. Rock the head from side to side. And then take a big full body stretch, arch the back, point the toes. And you can roll onto either side, using your arm as a pillow. And use this last moment of stillness here to say something nice to yourself. That's something we don't do very often. And just make your way into a comfortable seated position. And you can join me by bringing the hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that this helped to relieve some of your lower back pain and that you're feeling ready to take on the rest of your day. Remember to come back to any of these poses in your everyday routine to find some relief whenever you need it. And subscribe to my channel for more free yoga classes every week. Thanks again for joining me, and have a great rest of your day.